Hey Comic-Con, this is Sam Stone with CBR, here with the cast of Mythic Quest, coming back on Apple TV Plus for Season 3 this fall. Guys, thanks for taking the time to sit with me.
Thanks for having us.
Danny, I was hoping that Brad would come out of prison a changed man like Robert De Niro in like Cape Fear. So how can we expect to see the return of Brad after his fall from grace?
Great question. Brad did have a significant fall from grace. There's a two-part season opening escape that we start with. Now he's kind of in a crisis. He comes out, I think, somewhat changed. I think looking for a new challenge. So he finds his way back to Mythic Quest. And in some ways, he's looking for a new challenge, a new scheme.
Sure. You know, and if Imani, if we've seen Brad go down, we're seeing your character start to go up. We're seeing Dana go to school and, you know, kind of find her own path. How can you what can you tease about Dana's journey as we come back for Season 3?
Oh, you just wait. You just wait. Dana has so much fun stuff this season. We get to really dive into more of her personality in general. Like you said, that we really set it up for all of her passions, but now we get to see her step into those passions and see that colorful kindness just fade away. But it's a fun time. She's great.
Right on, right on. Charlotte, now the core, the push and pull of Mythic Quest has always been like Poppy and Ian right at the center, and they struck out on their own. Where can we, now they are forced to work closer together than ever. What can we expect from their dynamic as they strike out away from Mythic Quest?
It's just really healthy. They work really well together, and they listen to each other's ideas. They're really respectful. That's the whole season, just them getting along.
It's good time.
No, I think that we definitely pick up on them both feeling really enthusiastic about the idea that they have and working together and finally like trying to leave some of that toxic Mythic Quest stuff behind. But I think, as expected before long, their egos get the better of them.
Ashley, you have one of the unique positions of writing, directing, and of course, starring in Mythic Quest. How has that all informed how you approach your performances, Rachel, and just approach how you work with the show in general?
My ego is huge now. I cannot be stopped. No, it's so great to be able to step into all these different roles because it gives you so much appreciation, even more appreciation for the cast and the crew. You know, directing. Danny directed as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
And so did David. Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I'm just so used to you're the EP. I'm used to you being the boss.
You're always the boss.
You're always the boss. Oh no.
And they were all so good.
They were.
They were so good.
I was about to direct us to cut.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
But it gives you appreciation for your coworkers. And how good
I feel very appreciated. For most of them.
It gives you a lot of appreciation for your coworkers and how good everyone is at their job.
To that point, David, this is probably a good time to seg to you. As someone who is
Which
also...
mic do you want me to use?
Could you use the boom? But
Are you the only one that's
This is the most mic'd interview I've been on.
Yeah, he's appreciated.
They really want
I think I'm supposed to kind of naturally...
This is a great season.
I'm known as the covering actor, yeah. Yes, go ahead.
So, as the executive producer and, of course, one of the writers and directors and everything, and you know, starring as another character named David, you see David in the position that he always had, but now he truly has. You're the boss. You know, what can we expect with the wolf?
Well, you can see the respect I command.
Of course.
Yes. No, I'm going to go with this one because I like the look. Yeah. Would you like a television report? We have Ian and Poppy leaving Mythic Quest this year, which leaves me alone to lead the ship. So I get an opportunity to have a Mythic Quest a movie project. And I'm trying to, book a beefcake for the lead role. I'm trying to prove to Ian and Poppy that without them, Mythic Quest can really soar. And when we come in on the season, I'm on time and I'm on budget, which
Let's
is
go, David.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. So we'll see if I stay on budget and on time.
If we were still doing subtitles to the season, Book of Beefcake should have been.
Yes. Mythic Quest, Book of Beefcake.
Yeah.
So, Jessie, we've seen Jo face her own heart of darkness. She's seen how dark leadership can get and toxic with Zach. Now that she's back with David, where's like Jo's head at as we pick back up with her?
Well, yeah, she really crashed and burned at the end of season 2. And so season 3, we kind of track her sobriety journey with power and her addiction to power. And she really channels all of that passion into helping David. She just wants to make miracles happen for David.
She supported this season, right?
Very
she's
supportive.
there to prop me up, almost push me out of the
Absolutely.
out of the plane. Yes, I saw everything. I witnessed it all. I saw he got hit by the car, and then the driver just drove off.
Yes.
Took me a second to realize the bit, and it was very good.
It turned into a bit. It turned into a news reporter bit. I'm sorry. A Chiron would help post. I'm just a bit Chiron.
What would you want your Chiron to say?
It would say live. Yeah.
The wolf.
Beefcake boys.
Beefcake boys out.
Yeah. You know, coming out of season 2, everybody's at a huge crossroads, and I'm curious because you guys have really. It's been one of those productions for Apple TV Plus or just in general that you guys have kind of run the gamut. You did the quarantine special. You've done you've done Starlight and everything like that sort of thing. The coming back, like how have you guys grown 3 seasons deep?
We haven't.
As witness. Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
There's a lot of interpersonal stuff this season. We watch Jo struggle with being lonely, and she reaches out. Well, she makes an effort to make friends.
Yeah, the nice thing about being in the 3rd season is that you just know the characters more and you can dive deeper in. So we're getting to uncover things about our different characters that you wouldn't necessarily see in a 1st or a 2nd season. And as you know, the show doesn't, shy away from going to maybe heavier places, and this season is no exception. But it's still funny. It's still funny. Still watch it. It's funny.
Yeah. I'm curious, with this like being such an exploration of video games, what are your own, and this is kind of a big type abstract question, what are some of like the joys of video games that you have found either for your own sake or like just as part of a community?
I mean, I feel like I've made it very publicly known that Animal Crossing got me through the first year of the pandemic. I was one of those ones that now I am afraid to go back into that game and see all the villagers crying and the cockroaches in every house. But that was, obvious. I think it's clear that sense of connectivity that you get from the community, I had no idea about that before we did this show. And this show was the thing that introduced me to that.
I will say, when you go back to the island, Tom Nook is seriously waiting.
He's
for
mad?
it. He's not mad.
I don't
he's
care
just
what he
disappointed.
thinks.
Screw Tom Nook.
I don't care what Tom Nook thinks.
Yeah.
He's an oil baron.
I don't
basically.
care, Tom
He
Nook.
is. He is.
Yeah, he's such a landlord. The anger flow through you.
But yeah, any of you guys, other guys have like, Ashley, I know you've been very active with the gaming community. Like how has it been like exploring it through the lens of Mythic Quest?
It's been really cool because it feels like we're getting it right, which is nice because I'm getting a lot of feedback from devs and friends that have been in the games industry who say how triggered they are and how much they see themselves in the show. So it's been really cool to be able to bring my love of that industry into this show and to feel like we're really, servicing it and not just sort of doing the like greatest hits of games. We're like really being true to the stories that happen in those spaces.
Sure. David, I was talking to Katie McElhenney, and she said anytime David became the wolf, that was like some of her favorite stuff in the world. Can we expect more of David's turbulent love life as we go into season 3?
That well's dried up a bit, unfortunately. I think he's moved on from finding a mate and is
Looking for
more.
beefcakes.
But still
He is. Yeah, he's more in
stuck in your Belinda in that traffic jam.
The remnants is just being in your Belinda, I think. But no, I'm looking for beefcakes this season. So there's no ladies, unfortunately.
Jo's the only woman in his life.
So,
That's a good answer.
And she hates him.
so the
Well,
subtitle.
no, I don't.
Danny, we got to see your own personal like Dr. Doom. Like, how is it kind of like squaring up with your brother, and are we going to see more of that family dynamic as we go into season 3?
Parvatinos, one of my oldest friends, got to play my brother Zach last year, which was a thrill to argue with him, to fight him. That was really fun. We don't really see him right now, but I think there's still some leftover conflict that has to be resolved this year with a few of us. I think that it kind of caused Brad to have this sort of existential crisis coming into the year, to be like, what does he really want to do? And I guess it leads to a little bit more of finding a new purpose within the office. I can say that. Can I say that?
I think we.
Well, you've said it now.
Yeah.
We take what we like. We try not to fully repeat. So you won't see Zach. You're not going to see the wolf. I think we take those things that we establish with each character and then use that to then show, oh, because of that, you saw that. We see, oh, Brad does have some emotion, and we know how he feels about it. So we know, Dana's talented at coding. We're gonna, now that we know that, and they put her through school, what's she gonna do with that? And so I think we take what we have, we try not to repeat it, but we use it to help progress the story.
You should direct.
And executive produce. In terms of Dana and Rachel, I mean, that was a romance. Their love is so pure. We saw it take time for them to come together, and then they had to go apart. Like, what can we expect about your guys' dynamic? Like, that's a pretty big stumbling block moving forward.
We're in love. No, we are in love, and we are in love. Well, some time has passed since we last seen both Dana and Rachel, and so we're seeing them in this new place where they're both leveling up in life, and Dana has more of a footing where she is, and Rachel's sort of figuring it out, but there's still that love and that support there, and they're just like branching out from their relationship while still, supporting each other. So, yeah, the show goes on, it continues, and we're a passionate couple, and then we're like doing our own thing.
Yeah, I think the stories of them just being in love and will they, won't they, we played that. So now that we have what each of their talents are, we're able to, show that Dana starts making inroads with Ian, and we see that there's some similarities in personality there. So from that, we get to see new pairings and different dynamics.
You'd make a good writer, too.
And executive producer.
The list goes on.
Jessie.
So we got to see some of that human vulnerable side that we don't normally see to Joe. You're not just the Terminator. There's a beating heart there. How is it tapping into the more vulnerable side of somebody that can be like the office enforcer, hard hitter,
Yeah, that part is really fun. I like to think that I'm like the snake that's hidden underneath the rose, but this season you kind of see like some of the flower petals falling off of her and some of the weakness and how that affects her, how she navigates stuff in the workplace, which is volatile and totally unhealthy.
And I think I got time for one more, and this is always the loaded one. What else can you tease about Mythic Quest Season 3 ahead of the premiere?
Well, Poppy and Joe have a love story.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
We don't.
Well, sort of.
We sort of do. We had a lovers spat at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dana falls in alignment with Ian and Poppy a lot this season.
Let's see here. David, Ashley, and I directed episodes this year, so that's new. That was really exciting.
Yep.
And I think each character has a moment for sure this year, and there might be a single tear somewhere.
Maybe multiple.
Single tears only.
It's about video games that we are all in it.
True.
I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say.
David?
Say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want.
Keep it broad. And executive producer.
It's louder, it's faster,
It's
funnier,
stronger, it's funnier.
and it's got Joe Manganiello.
Hey, now. Talk about a beefcake.
Talk about a beefcake.
And on that beefy note, this is Sam Stone, not beefy at all, here at Comic-Con
Well,
International.
now,
Well.
excuse me. Don't be doing that.
Sorry, I'm not body shaming myself.
Yeah.
The Sam Stone at Comic-Con International 2022 here in San Diego with the cast and crew of Mythic Quest. Guys, thanks for taking the time.